Hello,
Mara?
Bea. I'm still here at Karangkang Elementary School, where we are waiting for the arrival of presidential candidate and Vice President Leni Robredo. Alam natin, bago siya bumoto, hihintayin niyang makatapos ang kanyang mga anak. And while on standby, actually, we saw her eldest daughter, Aika Robredo, tweet a photo of her and her sister, Trisha, putting up their indelible marks on their fingers. Ibig sabihin, tapos na sila bumoto. They cast their vote at Tabuco Central School in Naga City, and so we are expecting them to accompany their mother. The youngest daughter of the Vice President, Jillian, was already able to cast her vote via overseas absentee voting because she is finishing her college education at New York University. So before flying back here in Manila, she was able to cast her vote already. Situation here at Karangkang Elementary School, mahaba na yung pila outside the entire stretch of the school. Puro tao na yung nakapila sa labas. Some of the voters here were here as early as 6 a.m. And behind me, actually, you can see several more of the voters waiting for their turn to be able to cast their vote in this high-stakes 2022 elections. Security here is very strict. Obviously, the second highest official and the lone female presidential candidate will be voting here. But it has been orderly so far kahit marami ang tao. If you are going to vote at Karangkang Elementary School, you have to get your temperature checked. Kapag tumaas sa 37.5 ang iyong temperature, the health official here will put you dun sa kanilang isolation center for a while at gagawin nilang 3 times to check your temperature. If for some reason, halimbawa, nainitan ka lang at bumaba na yung temperatura mo, you will be able to enter the school to cast your vote. So far, wala naman tayong nababalitaan or nakikita na botante na hindi pinapasok dahil may sakit or dahil mataas ang temperatura. All voters here are required to wear their face masks. As regards physical distancing, social distancing, it's kind of impossible already to do it. Dahil dikit-dikit talaga yung tao. But we're seeing that people here are following wearing the face masks rule all the time. Bea?
Hi Mara, before you joined us, kanina yung cliffhanger natin while on air, no, yung potential economic teams ng mga presidential candidates. You have a question from Leloy Claudio.
Sorry, may history ng konti dito muna. Kasi noong 1970, nung nagka-crisis si Ferdinand Marcos, na-deodorize niya yung crisis kasi nakapag-appoint siya ng mga magagaling na ekonomista, si Virata at saka si Sikat. Pero this time around, mukhang walang ekonomista na nag-endorse kay Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at mukhang walang ekonomista na gustong sumali. So, is there a chance na kung sino-sino na lang i-appoint dyan as an economic manager, Mara?
May delay ng konti si Mara. Let's focus on...
I can't really hear, Leloy,
Sige, let's...
Mara, I just wanted to ask, sino kayang i-appoint ni Duterte, ni BBM as an economic team? Gayong there doesn't seem to be many economists supporting the BBM campaign.
Wait, I'll pick that up kasi si Mara is the reporter who covers Vice President Leni Robredo. Unfortunately, Leloy, my answer to that is much like any other aspects of his campaign na medyo opaque. Si Bongbong Marcos Jr. Sa inner workings ng campaign, and he hasn't really been asked, or we haven't really had many opportunities to ask him kung sino yung gusto niyang or napupusuan niya sa kanyang economic team. May mga chismis na hanggang chismis lang kung sino mga minamata nila to join his economic team should he win the presidency. It also does not help because, again, I mentioned earlier before we took a break, no, na it was actually asked at the CNN Presidential Forum. Although parang hinati yung tanong, half of the candidates were asked kung sino yung i-appoint nila sa DOH and the other half was asked kung sino yung economic team nila. Wala doon si Bongbong Marcos, so hindi niya nasagot yun. But let's go back to Mara. Si Vice President Leni Robredo, I know, Mara, they're focused on winning the election first, pero do we have any indications kung sino ang minamata ng Robredo campaign, Robredo Pangilinan campaign? Like, who are they eyeing to join the economic team should they win the 2022 elections?
I feel like that's a lot of That's a lot. That's a question that a lot of people want VP Leni Robredo to answer, who will be not just on her economic team but her cabinet in general. But she has always been consistent in not giving names. I think that's also part of the nature of VP Leni, na hindi pangunahan yung resulta ng magiging eleksyon. But she emphasizes on the quality of the officials who will be part of the government should she become the next president. So there will be she emphasizes on the expertise and the clean track record of the officials that she wants to appoint in her government. So likely the people who we know to be advising her in her economic policy and in her other policies in her platform will likely probably play a key role in her government. But these are names that VP Leni doesn't want to disclose. So for now, we could just assume just the kind of people that she wants.
Before we go back to Mara, I'd like to thank Lalo Claudio for joining us today, our resident historian and our nag-warn siya nga sa atin.
Nabasag ng trip.
At dakilang tig-warn sa atin na it will get worse before it gets better. Sana mas mabilis yung better na yun, no? Sana yung
Sana
worse,
nga.
mas maiksi. Thank you again, Lalo, for joining us this morning.
Maraming salamat, Bea. Maraming salamat, JC.
Thank you.
Bye.
Mara, you're still on the line?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, hi Mara. Ito naman, let's talk about the DOH. I know that you said na ayaw ni Vice President Robredo pangunahan, syempre, kasi ipanalo muna natin to kung bago natin isipin kung sino yung ipapasok natin sa cabinet. But based on your coverage, based on the people that you know surround her, like who are the people advising her na lang for when it comes to health concerns, the pandemic, of course?
At hindi naman ito sikreto dahil nung unang nilabas ni Leni Robredo ang kanyang comprehensive pandemic response platform, ang katabi niya ay dalawang DOH secretary na well-respected in the public health sector. That's Manuel Dairit and Esperanza Cabral, who both were wearing pink during that press conference with VP Leni sometime in late 2021. And so, we could only assume that kung meron siyang pagpipilian as Department of Health Secretary, it would probably be Dr. Dairit and Dr. Esperanza Cabral. And so there's also an emphasis na rin on their track record, particularly Dr. Dairit, because he was the DOH secretary during the SARS outbreak during the Arroyo administration, and the Philippines was able to handle that very well. So that's I think something that VP Leni probably prizes in a potential DOH secretary, someone who would be able to handle a pandemic or handle a crisis very well and be able to stop the spread of a virus and prevent the deaths of Filipinos. Si VP Leni, nahanap niya din sa kanyang mga gabinete, sa kanyang mga government official na i-appoint, not just on the DOH secretary, yung abilidad na magtimon at to lead and to be physically present and not to pass on the blame to his or her staff. And she has criticized the incumbent Francisco Duque III over the mismanagement of the pandemic, but VP Leni has shied away from asking for the resignation of the DOH secretary kasi when the pandemic ongoing pa yung pandemic, she'd rather that someone be there kesa yung government would scramble and have no one leading the front. She just wanted DOH Secretary Duque to step up. But going back, if you want to get a glimpse of the kind of DOH Secretary that VP Leni would probably be appointed, something, yung personality na yon at yung quality ng public health expert na yon would be the likes of Dr. Manuel Dairit and Dr. Esperanza Cabral.
Interesting insight there.